left in the room, your eyes were open. For a moment you lay still, then suddenly sat up, your gaze dropped to the bed. Why? How did I get here? You clearly remembered falling asleep on the floor. Your brows furrowed slightly. The room beside you empty. Taehyung wasn't there. You got out of bed slowly and went to freshen up. Your mind still stuck on that question. When you stepped into the living room, you heard sounds from the kitchen, utensil cooking. You walked over and found Hirin busy preparing food. She turned slightly. Hirin, oh, find it awake. Took you long enough today. You gave a small, awkward smile. Why? Hurry, Sappa. Hirin continued cooking as she replied. Hirin, oh, your Appa went out with Taeyang early in the morning. They should be back any time now. Wondering, Taeyang went out with Appa? It didn't make sense. He agreed to go out with your father without even saying anything. Just then, voices come from outside. You turn your head, the door opened. Yoon-suk walked in first, smiling brightly. Then right behind him, Yoon-suk looked happy, relaxed. Yoon-suk, oh man, you were awake. You should have come with us. We went to quit a few places. He said cheerfully. Harry got out from the kitchen, heading. Come, wash up. Food is almost ready. Yoon-suk rubbed his eyes, serve quickly. They will leave soon. Then he looked at them again. You should have stayed a few more days. And added immediately herein, yes, stay a little longer. Taeyang spoke calmly. Taeyang, I have a lot of work at office, otherwise we would have stayed. You glanced at him. That answer felt polite. They all sat down for breakfast. The table was filled with food, warm, fresh, prepared with care. Herin smiled as she served. Herin, take this curry, Taeyang. I made it with fresh vegetables. Taeyang took a small portion. After a while, he said, Taeyang, I'm full. You're so rough. You're young. If you don't eat now, when will you? Before Taeyang could stop her, Herin added more food to his plate. Herin, eat a little more. He was quietly surprised. Because he didn't refuse strongly, didn't show irritation, didn't walk away. He just accepted it, sat there, ate, listened, spoke when needed. It wasn't warm, but it wasn't cold either. Just normal, and somehow that felt strange. Time passed quickly. Soon it was time to leave. Hirin walked to you to the door and hugged you tightly. Hirin, come again when you have time. You hugged her back softly. Why, okay, Amma. Yoon-suk smiled warmly. Yoon-suk, come again, both of you. Then give a slight nod. Taeyang, will we? Then, without waiting, he turned and walked toward the car. The driver fled with the bags. You stood there for a second, looking back at your parents, then quickly followed him. The car door closed, and once again, silence returned between you two. Then left for the office, you stayed behind. The house returned to its usual silence. You sat in the living room, absent-mindedly, staring at nothing in particular. Your thoughts kept circling back to this morning, to the way they behaved. Why was he like that? You whispered to yourself. He didn't match, nothing matched about him. The same person who barely spoke to you, who avoided even simple conversations, was somehow normal with your parents, polite, calm, almost gentle. You let out a small breath and shook your head. While thinking about this won't change anything. A faint smile appeared on your lips. At least Yoma and Appa were happy, that's enough. At the office, Ting stood in front of his team. His presence alone made the room quiet, focused, professional. Taeyang, Team A, he said, his turn from. You will complete all graphic designs this week. Okay, boss. Taeyang, Team B, handle all the site management. Okay, boss. Damn, Team C, your job is to bring the clients. I know it's the hardest task, but I expected results. We will try our best, boss. Ever suddenly spoke up. Ruka, boss, I have a request. Then look at him. Thanks, speak. Ruka, can I move to Team A? Then narrowed his eyes slightly. Then, why? Any problem with Team B? Ruka, no, boss. I just want to join Team A, please. Then reason a pause. Ruka, I am good at graphic design. Then hid his gaze for a moment. Then, okay. He flushed over Luca's face. Luca, thank you, boss. Then didn't respond. He simply walked away. The moment he left, Luca rushed toward Olivia. Luca, see, I told you. He would agree. Olivia grinned back. Olivia, now we are in the same team finally. They both laughed quietly. Inside the young's room, he sat alone, his eyes fixed on the CCTV screens, watching everything, monitoring, controlling. His gaze shifted and stopped on Team A. Everyone was working focused, except Luca and Oliver sitting close talking, laughing softly while working side by side. Then Oliver stood up, walked behind Luca, leaned down and kissed his cheek, then casually walked away. Came back moments later with coffee, handed it to him. Luca smiled and kissed her back. Tiang's expression didn't change, but his eyes hardened slightly. Tiang. So that's why he was desperate to switch teams, he muttered of his romance. And he was sitting quietly when the door bell rang. He stood up and opened it. Then he stepped inside. Then served dinner. I will come. When okay. He went upstairs. He stood there for a moment. Since he is eating at home today? At the dining table, there was eating sanity. You sat across from him. You picked up a spoon, but the smell of food suddenly felt overwhelming, heavy, unsettling. You paused. Your hand froze. Then noticed. Then, is there a problem? Why aren't you eating? You quickly shook your head. Why, no, nothing. You forced yourself to eat, sorry, even though every bite felt difficult. The next day, meeting room presentation ongoing. Everyone focused professionally except under the table. Ruka and Oliver's hands were intertwined, hidden, careless. Theo's voice suddenly rang through the room. Theo, office romance is not allowed. Silence. Sam looked confused. Sam, boss, everyone is working. Theo's gaze remains steady. Theo, the ones I'm talking to already understand. Ruka and Oliver immediately put their hands apart. Neither looked up. After office, things sat in the car. Traffic was heavy. The city lights spread outside the window. Suddenly, a small boy approached holding flowers. Girl, sir, will you buy flowers? They are very fresh, perfect as a gift. They didn't even look at her. They young, no. Girl, please, sir, they are really beautiful. They young, no. The girl hesitated. Girl, please, I haven't eaten anything since morning. The young paused, finally looked at her. Something in his eyes shifted just slightly. Tian gave me all of them. The bell broke in shock. Girl, all? Tian, yes. She quickly handed him all the flowers. He gave her money, more than needed. Girl, sir, this is too much. Tian, keep it. The girl's face lit up. Girl, thank you, sir. She ran off happily. Tian looked at the flowers in his hand. For a moment, he just stared at them. At home, you open the door, Tian step in, Tian, keep this, and I already had dinner. No need to serve. My drink, okay. Her eyes moved to the flowers, so many. Tian simply nodded and walked away. Into the flowers to your room, place them in a vase, arrange them carefully. Your fingers brushed against the soft petals. Why, they are beautiful. You place them near the window. Outside the night sky shimmered with stars. And under that soft light, the flowers looked even more delicate, more alive. He stood there quietly watching them. A few days later, Taehyung was at office, focused on work as always. His phone suddenly rang. He picked it up without looking. Taehyung, hello. A nervous voice came from the other side. Mrs. Shin, sir, madam fainted. We're taking her to the hospital. Please come. Taehyung's expression changed instantly. Taehyung, I'm coming. He ended the call. Sam is boss. Taehyung, tell the driver to bring the car now. 20 minutes later, they reached the hospital. His steps were fast, sharp, controlled, but urgent. He pushed the door open. He was laying on the bed, unconscious. The doctor was checking you. The maid stood beside you, worried. Then walked in, saying what happened. The doctor turned calmly. Doctor, it's nothing serious, but she needs to be careful from now on. Then frowned. What do you mean? The doctor smiled slightly. Doctor, your wife is 2 months pregnant. A boss. Congratulations, you are going to be a father. Everything stopped for a second. Then didn't react, didn't move, just stared. Tiang, are you sure? His voice was so controlled. Tiang, yes, the doctor replied. It's confirmed. Here is the report. He handed over the file. Take care of her. The doctor left. Tiang stood there, the file in his hand, heavy. He opened it, read it. Again and again, his jaw tightened. Tiang, how is this possible? His thoughts turned sharp, cold. She had someone. She should have said it before the marriage. Why did she agree to this marriage then? Skip on the fire titan. Then, Mrs. Shin, you can go home. Mrs. Shin, yes, sir. The maid left quietly. Then stayed, standing there waiting. His eyes didn't leave you. An hour later, you slowly open your eyes. Everything felt very heavy. You blink. Then sat up slowly. Where am I? Your gaze shifted and stopped. Taeyang. Standing by the window, he spoke to you, silent, cold. He felt the movement. Turned. Their eyes met. Your voice came out weak. Why am I in the hospital? He didn't answer. He walked forward and placed the file in your hand, then checked. You looked confused but opened it. Your eyes moved across the report and then froze. Your hand started shaking. Why no? You stumbled. Things first got so then. If you have a boyfriend, why did you agree to this marriage? Silence. Call him, he said coldly. Call him here. You couldn't speak. You gripped on the file tighter. Then what happened? His voice hardened. Call him. The sugar is sorry why I don't have a boyfriend. Then said out a bit aloud. Then what? His eyes darkened. Both of us know this child isn't mine. This was sharp. Then whose is it? His tears started falling. When I don't know. Your voice broke. I don't know anything. Then stared at you. Disbelief, anger, frustration. Then you don't even know who the father is. The next second, his face slammed against the wall. A loud sound echoed through the room. You freeze, tears streaming down your face. Fragments of the night flash in your mind, blood, broken and clear. When I don't know, you whispered again. Then ran a hand through his hair, breathing heavily. The young musician already knows, he said. Was slow but dangerous. Soon everyone will know. He looked at you one last time. I don't want to hear anything else right now. A pause, let's go home. His tone left no room for argument. Whatever needs to be said will be said there. Both finally reached home. The moment they stepped inside, the tension exploded without a word. He grabbed the vase from the table and threw it to the floor. Crash! The soft sound echoed through the silent house. You freeze. Ian turned, his eyes burning with anger. Taeyang, I'm not the father of this child, he said, his voice low but shaking with rage. and soon everyone will know about it. You stood frozen. I won't even able to say anything, he continued. Do you understand what that means? I have a reputation, a name. His jaws tightened. So do whatever you want. Each word colder than the last thing. I don't want to know anything. And just like that, he turned, walked away, and slammed his bedroom door shut. Silence. You stood there for a long time, not moving, not breathing properly. Then slowly you turned and walked to your own room. 3 a.m. The house was dark, quiet, too quiet. You sat on the bed, stared away, your mind restless, broken thoughts running endlessly. You tired. Again and again to remember that night, that one night, but everything was blurred, fragments, nothing clear, nothing complete. You squeezed your hands tightly, as if forcing your memory to work. Why can't you remember? Your voice trembled. Then another thought hit your parents. If they found out, what would happen? What would they think? Fear spread through your chest, heavy, suffocating. While I don't know how to do. Tears streamed down silently. Days passed, 1, 2, 3, 7 days. They didn't come home, not even once. He stayed at office, avoided the house, avoided you. He was alone completely. You barely ate. Food lost its taste. Time lost its meaning. Finally, one morning, you stood in front of the mirror. Your reflection looks different. Your hand slowly moved to your stomach. A long silence, then you spoke softly, almost like convincing yourself. When I will end it. Your voice shook. I will get an abortion today. You stood in front of the hospital for a moment. You could not move. Your fingers tightened around your back. Why? This is the only way, you whispered to yourself. Then slowly you walked inside. After completing the formalities, you sit in the doctor's chamber. When I want to terminate the pregnancy, you said quietly. The doctor looked at you carefully. Doctor, are you sure? One nodded. I am. The doctor didn't argue. Doctor, alright. Before the procedure, we will do an ultrasound. You lay down on the bed, your eyes fixed on the ceiling. Cold rays touched your skin. The monitor flickered to life. Doctor, look here, she said gently. You hesitated, then turned your head. On the screen, a tiny shape, barely formed, but there. Doctor, this is your baby, she said softly. Then a faint sound filled the room. Your heartbeat coughed. When, what is that? Doctor, the heartbeat. Everything went silent inside you, around you, your eyes moving slightly. The tiny precise sound felt louder than anything you had ever heard. Your fingers trembled, tears slowly rolled down the side of your face. Doctor, do you still want that proceed? She asked calmly. You didn't answer immediately. You kept staring at the screen. At that small living presence, at that heartbeat arrived real inside you. Your lips parted slightly. Mine, no. Your voice was very audible. I can't. You closed your eyes slightly. I don't want to do it. Doctor's expression softened. Doctor, alright. She gently removed the chair and helped you sit up. You should take care of yourself from now on. Eat properly, avoid stress, and come for regular checkups. You notice silently, still shaken, still emotional. Back home, you stepped inside and froze. Taehyung was there, sitting on the sofa, waiting. His gaze lifted the moment he saw you. Taehyung, where were you? You hesitated, then answered honestly. When I went to the hospital, a pause for an abortion. The accent circumcised Tiang and you looked down. When I could not do it. Silence filled the room. Tiang leaned back slightly processing, then spoke, his voice controlled but distant. Tiang, If you are keeping the child, I won't take responsibility. This word was clear final. Then you will have to handle everything yourself. You lifted your head. There was no anger in your expression. Well, you don't have to. A small pause, but I will need a job. Taehyung frowned slightly. Taehyung, a job? Well, I won't be able to find one immediately. You continued softly. If you can arrange something for me, that's enough. You didn't ask for more, didn't demand, didn't plead. Just stated it. Taehyung looked at you for a moment, thinking, then nodded slightly. Taehyung, fine. But in the office, you will be an employee. His tone hardened. No special treatment, no rights, understood? One nodded, understood. Then didn't say anything else. He stood up and walked to his room. The door closed behind him. You remained standing around, but this time something inside you had changed. You slowly placed your hand over your stomach, a soft, protective one. No matter what happened next, you had made your choice. Announcement. I didn't want to say this, but I have no choice anymore. Please, I really need your support. Try to help me reach 100 subscribers within the next 10 days. I would ask if it wasn't important. Otherwise, I won't be able to continue uploading regularly like before. And this series might take a long time to finish.